to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
Welcome, once again, to the podcast that you listen to probably on a regular basis. One that is sort of kind of about board games, but not really. This is the Board Game Snobs. This is Jared.
This is Enrique. I'm back. I'm alive.
Boy, you come in hard. That's loud.
Yeah,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
But that's okay. You can do
I'll
that.
tune it down a little
We
bit.
haven't had you here. That's copied over.
I'm here as well.
We haven't had you on the show for a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple months.
You have been... Has it been a couple months?
Yes.
He hasn't been on here since BG Spring.
Yeah. It's been months, man.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
We have people constantly asking...
My bad.
Are you sipping on
His
Bloody Marys?
Yeah, his
Bloody
spicy
Mary.
drink.
You do like those now.
I don't know
They-
how you guys can drink that.
I can. I drank one. They're too spicy for me. I am not a fan of the spice. Well, I take
do
that back.
Hold on.
I don't like spicy drinks. This is a spicy drink. I don't
You
know.
like spicy attitudes.
I don't know. Can you think of any other spicy drinks? I guess there are certain whiskeys that are mildly spicy, but this was super spicy for Bloody Mary.
They make jalapeno margaritas.
Mm.
Hmm.
That is all right. Number one, this
I
episode.
drink cayenne pepper water.
Kinda. This episode is basically about things that I'm disgruntled about and don't like.
Oh, that's right.
This is my, what episode did you call it?
The airing of grievances.
My airing of grievances. So here's the thing. Here's a grievance I have. I do not like these videos of these poor ignorant people that are eating jalapenos and things of that nature and about killing themselves, eating hot food. I think that is stupid.
Wait,
talking
there's
about like
videos about that?
You talking about the Hot Wing YouTube show?
No, that's different.
No.
Because he's interviewing people and you're eating a dish that increasingly gets hotter.
Yeah, that's entertaining.
It's not so much entertaining. It's also like, instead of just doing an interview show, he's like, what's the little thing we could do? Oh, we could eat little hot wings. That's fine. I'm saying about these ignorant kids doing like the one chip challenge and people eating these things. That's stupidity.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, that is
Eating
stupid.
in general. These YouTubes that do that mukbang stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's That's
what with like a table
and they just
amount
eat.
of food.
I think it's a yuck bang.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Now, like, do you know that one YouTuber, that really big fat guy?
Yeah.
We don't say fat.
I don't know.
We don't shame.
He started
Obese?
off.
Did we say obese?
He started
What-
off.
Very good. He's morbidly obese.
Yeah, like
He's my
big.
people now.
No, he's not, actually.
And he has like some weird petite
You
hair.
don't have to hair shame him. We don't all have thick hair.
I'm just saying.
You're shaming him in every aspect of his life, but
he-
I don't like him.
Well,
I
listen,
think he's...
But he thinned down without telling anybody.
Did he?
Kept posting old videos.
Okay, well, that's good.
But the whole thing to me is just weird. I don't like these videos. I don't know who watches them, and I don't know why. Why do people watch these things that don't provide you any interesting... It doesn't improve you. It's like, it's not even entertaining. It's just toxic. I don't even say toxic. I
It's
hate the
not
word
toxic.
toxic. I don't like the term toxic. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of everything.
That is most social media.
Well,
YouTube, Instagram,
I would
TikTok.
argue that it's
The
not.
most popular, at least.
That I would be more agreeing on, because there are certainly people who have done a lot of great things. Not only will I air grievances, I will point out where the good is at as well. Social media and YouTube has done a lot of great things for bringing back certain hobbies. For instance, I'm back into playing chess a lot. Chess has had a resurgence in popularity, mainly because of certain social media people getting on there and just doing weird stuff.
And the Netflix show,
And the Netflix show,
Queen's Gambit.
correct, which is an opening, which is one I like. Queen's Gambit's okay.
What's your favorite opening?
It's
Of all the openings.
Of all the openings, that's a good question. There's too many of them. Let me make sure I'm not telling you. The Italian game, that's a pop. Yeah, the Italian game. That's the one here's the thing. There's all these various names for them, and I have not played chess in a long time. And so now I'm having to go back and kind of relearn everything.
I do think we briefly discussed this on the previous episode.
You said that I didn't know what I was talking about. Shut me down. But anyways, yeah, the Italian game, I think I like that. Or the French defense.
Is it an Italian game or Italian gambit?
No, it's a game.
Okay.
A gambit's a thing.
I know. It's just like the Italian game. That's like a move you're doing. It's a singular. They're calling one move a game.
Well, no. Yeah, well, it's the opening is the game, but a gambit is like you're risking something.
Okay.
Like the Queen's Gambit, you're risking that pawn.
Whisking the queen.
No, you're risking the...
Whisking
the
queen.
Whisking
The queen.
and risking.
my queen. Yeah, you're risking something.
Okay, what are some more of your grievances?
Okay, let's see. Grievances.
And we also haven't done you being a good man in a while. I might have to put that one at the end of this to even things out.
I don't have to even nothing out with anybody.
What, a good man?
I've been doing great things here lately.
You have?
I taught you pickleball.
Doing great things.
Like, you took me out to pickleball, and you taught me the basic rules.
I've been instructing you in the way. You would not know what pickleball
And I taught
was.
Jerry.
You shorted it. You introduced the game to me.
See, that's what
I
I'm
taught
saying.
you.
See?
No, you didn't. I
The
watched
first game we played.
I watched like 5 different hours worth of pickleball.
You never give me credit.
I gave you credit for
Or
introducing the
credit's due.
game. You just take it too far. That's another thing I don't like. Is when people take stuff too far.
Such as
And
yourself.
why not?
Because it's just, you don't have to go and be like, oh, I did this and did that. Just be realistic.
You praise yourself enough. I thought spread it around.
I praised you. I said you.
That's a
Song.
That's a song. What's that? Stop with your extend the claw. Stop.
And another thing I like that I've just discovered.
And this is the airing of grievances, not other things you like.
Okay. Wow. One of the things that I have grievances about is when I'm trying to be positive and say nice things, I get corrected by somebody who's slurping a Bloody Mary into the mic right now. Thank you kindly. I'll talk about...
I could be eating crackers or chips like you like to do.
Well, good thing we have eyes. And
the things that I like, Mike and Dan, for covering that episode for us. They made us an episode. I made us a mixtape.
3 weeks ago at this point.
Which I haven't listened to.
They have a mixtape?
Yeah, they made a game called a Mixtape, and we backed it.
Oh, okay.
You don't realize that. You owe me $25.
Oh,
you backed it too. I'm joking. The fact that they're shipping, did you know that their shipping is not on there? They have no shipping.
Seems suspicious, does it not?
Did you notice that though? Is that true?
No, I don't Kickstarter, so I literally just clicked buy and didn't worry about it.
Maybe I'm lying. It seemed like there was no shipping. There was
I don't
a
know.
flat
It's
shipping.
$25.
But the shipping
Don't they add shipping at the end?
I don't know. Maybe they will add shipping at the end.
I'm sure they will.
Knowing Dan.
Watch them be like, the shipping is $50 a box.
Anyway.
We got you. Everybody's credit card gets charged $75 for a $25 game.
And now we never see him.
And then Dan disappears.
I'm
vanishes
done
in the
used.
night.
Delizio shows up in a Ferrari to the dice tower. I'm back, baby.
How much?
Magnum PI music playing in the background.
I want my $70 back.
How much
We're joking, of course. Don't want to get
Are
slapped
we?
with libel.
how much money would it take for you to flee the country?
I guess it depends on where you're going. I would go with no less than $1 million.
You think $1 million? I think you have to really consider also it's $4 for
To flee the country?
$4 for shipping in the United States.
Cheaper than I thought.
It's
No.
$4 for shipping in the United States. That's cheap. That's some
Man,
cheap
I can
shipping.
ship myself to Mexico.
Oh,
For
that's
$4.
right, because they do an all play. That's right. The shipping people, their board game company, $4. That's cheap. They got the shipping right. Anyways, because I hate expensive shipping. That used to drive me insane. That's another thing that's outrageous is when you back a game and the shipping costs more than almost the game. I do not like that.
That is frustrating. I
Very
agree.
frustrating. Also, while we're on it, I'm quoted. Did you see my quote on the Kickstarter?
I pointed it out to you.
Well, I knew it happened But I'm just saying
You
that
didn't remember it.
I do remember things. I'm sorry, I've been
He
stressed.
slipped you a Mickey.
I've been stressed, and I said these things,
He
and
slipped you a
I don't
Mickey.
remember saying these things.
I know. He slipped you a Mickey. He's like, hey, say something positive.
I'll say
This
something.
is a harmonious game.
That's a great quote. That's a great quote.
Well, and it's also in genre.
It is.
It's very good, as opposed to quick, easy, fun.
Yeah. Pick up your, move. Ian O'Toole, he just does art.
Stick to art, Ian.
Art, Ian. I love that name.
Unless
Ian.
you want to come on our podcast. That'd be great.
I bet he's a talented individual.
You think so?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, Ian O'Toole, he's probably
Look
a
at
talented
Jerry being
individual.
edgy as usual.
Oh, yeah.
Ian O'Toole may be
yeah.
talented. The greatest possibly board game artist there is right now. I mean, I know there's a lot, and there's a lot of varying opinions on that. I personally only know his name because he seems to be one of the more popular. Like he's like just everywhere.
Yeah, thanks for your milk toast opinion. I'm sorry.
You know what I don't like?
What?
You saying milk toast about everything anybody else says.
Has he been saying that a lot?
He says a lot.
All the
And he
time.
also has been saying, let's see.
I've been saying that a lot.
Whenever you're doing anything, let's see.
I find it calming. I've been doing more humming.
I've been looking at the
You
sea.
hum now?
Looking
Hum.
at the sea.
Here's why. I used to be anti-humming.
I'm anti-whistling.
Okay. But apparently when you hum for like 20 minutes or so,
Supposed to like vibrate your vagus nerve.
it does, and it calms you down. And so I was reading about
Leaving Las Vegas nerves.
your proprioceptive feelings and trying to calm yourself down because I'm trying to be a more calm person.
Okay, so what's happening? Why are you so tense all of a sudden? I thought we had
I'm
fixed
not
that with your
tense.
tutor.
No, I'm not tense.
Tumor.
But I'm being more aware of my feelings and knowing. Why'd you roll your eyes?
I don't know.
Listen,
I haven't seen it.
about to reach across here with my little back scratcher that I've got here. Your extendable back scratcher.
So, like, in what way?
Just knowing that sometimes I'm irritated and I don't recognize it. And then
I've tried to tell you several times. You don't listen.
do you want to finish a
And,
sentence?
and sometimes I just go with it because I
See?
know how to deal with it.
He lashes. He struck you today with his little extend arm
Did
thing.
he? I don't remember.
This extend arm thing is your back scratcher that I love because now I can reach various tokens across the table. Your big table that you got here on this reach. But anyways, my point being is that I've just been more aware of the irritations and things and calming myself down and being just legit because I don't want to quit.
So that's kind of like the what they call that something brain therapy, cognitive brain therapy. I've tried to do that, but with anxiety or like whatever other emotions, depression, I can never like trace it down.
Trace what down?
The reason for it. Because isn't that what you're supposed to do? It's like, why am I feeling this way? What happened today? And you're like supposed to like backtrack stuff and see, well, you know, like you said many other times before, like did something happen in the day that kind of irritated you? Maybe you didn't realize it irritated you when it irritated you, and now you're taking it out on somebody else type of thing. Is that what that is? Or is it more? I mean, it's probably more than that.
Sort of, kind of, but cognitive brain therapy. First off,
CBT.
I'm rolling this back. Anxiety is not negative or positive. It's just an emotion. And it's just a physiological response to something in your brain. It's this thing firing off going, be anxious. And so if you get to where you know that you're anxious and calm yourself down, it gets to where that's your normal state of being calm. So the question is, can you calm yourself down when you're anxious?
According to
No.
things I've seen about your breathing.
No.
Can I do it?
I'm asking you that question. Okay.
No, I've tried all the breathing and
Well, there's physiological reason why you cannot do it then. Saying so your body is activating this fight or flight response. So you continually
I'm a flight guy.
you adjust.
I ain't fighting nobody.
You adjust physically to try to figure out you address the symptoms and then you can go after the cause. And so it's one of those things where nothing you do calms you down.
I mean, not when I've got this weird anxious feeling. I'm like, why like, you know. But we were talking about you.
No,
Let's
I'm
shift it back.
asking a question.
No, I don't know. I don't like the feelings I told you about when I've just like been at work and like my chest, I just like super anxious about the next phone call type thing.
Yeah, but what do you do to address that?
That's what I'm saying. Nothing. Other than take medicine, which hasn't really worked.
But you don't do anything in the moment.
I've tried the breathing thing. It doesn't seem to work. I've tried going for walks. I mean, I guess maybe it works. But that's another thing. If it's working, I'm not aware of it.
I guess I'm confused by how you wouldn't know that you're aware of it. If it's not working, like you're not feeling anxious, then wouldn't it be working?
I can go for a walk, and then I guess maybe, I don't know. I'd have to, in the moment, think about it more.
Okay.
Looking back, I can't really tell you.
I think that's probably what the issue is that maybe you're
My memory,
cognitive, that you're anxious, but then you don't realize you're doing something
perhaps.
to make it that way because your memory's shot. That's something I don't like. People with poor memories.
I don't like how you immediately look at me when you said that.
I'm just looking at both of you.
Well, like, I know my memory's bad, but at least I know it.
Bad
It
memories.
is. And I know why the reason, because I don't really listen in unless I'm doing something.
Poor listeners as well.
So, is this airing of grievances going to upset your emotional state
No.
in thinking about it?
This is cathartic.
You think so?
I think so.
You think that's real?
I feel like I'm catharticized.
Okay.
But either way,
Catharsis.
But there's other good things. Like there's good
This
stuff
is the airing of good things.
There's good
We've
stuff
switched the topic.
and bad stuff. Well, no, you have to take the good with the bad. You can't all just be negative.
The yin and the yang.
No, I don't like that.
It's exactly what you just said.
No, I don't like the yin and the yang though. That doesn't.
It's Zen.
What?
I don't know. I'm saying words.
You're saying
I don't
words.
know.
You don't know. Zen is that calm state.
I know.
That's like
but
the
you got to
feng
have the
shui.
yin with the yang.
No, I don't think the yin yang is a.
It's life balancing out the forces of life, just like the Jedi. Got to have Sith. What's the point of the Jedi without Sith?
Yeah, they literally mean dark side or sunny side of a hill. Yin, yeah. So it's like a, let's see, Chinese philosophical concept describes two complementary but opposing forces that interact to create a dynamic system.
That's us. We should have been the yin and the yang podcast, except that would be cultural appropriation, probably.
Who in America? Yeah.
What are you
He just says stuff.
in America?
You haven't been
No
on
one cares about that.
You haven't
Not
been
really.
you haven't been on the podcast.
This is the only place people
What?
care about that.
You haven't been on the podcast for months, and all of a sudden you're coming in here
He
just
just chimes in.
chiming.
Well, I have to.
Enrique, control the volume of your voice.
I'm sorry.
You're redlining me.
Yeah.
Red line.
He's forgot how to use a mic. Well, he's never learned.
I never learned.
That's true.
Listen, what was I talking about?
Red line.
The good stuff happening in your life.
I have great things, many great things happening. Doesn't come to mind right now, but many great things.
This moment we had to get together for once, the first time in a long
I
time.
left work a few moments early to come here to
It's
see.
been months.
Literally.
Yet we've been semi-producing content.
Barely producing content.
Thanks to Mike and Dan for producing content for us.
Made like the best episode of our
It's not
podcast.
crazy.
That's very
Every succeeding episode is
pretty
better than the last.
No, we've had some poor episodes here.
That's true too.
I don't think you.
But then the one comes after, it's always a little bit better.
Sort of.
Slightly.
Back down.
We like to keep it roller coaster.
It's okay.
Roller coaster.
But either way, our podcast, we've not been doing well. I don't like that. I haven't been playing any board games besides chess, which I've been playing online a lot, chess.com.
What frustrates me is having a room full of board games that are not being used.
If you're a chess player and you want to play chess with me on chess.com, email me at boardgamesstops@gmail.com.
There's not like a username for chess.com?
There is. I have a username, but I don't want people to give it out. I only give it out to real chess players, people who love me and want to play chess with me.
Are you gonna vet them? Like, how long have you been playing?
Yeah, I'll
What's
ask
your skill level?
What's your favorite opening? What's your ELO rating? Who's Magnus Carlsen?
Who is Matt?
Who is Fred?
The strongest man in the world.
Mhm.
The strongest man in the world.
He's the
in
man
chess?
mountain. Yeah, he is. I think he's the current champion. No, wait. I think he got dethroned. Somebody else is the current champion. I don't like watching chess.
He got mated.
Just like watching golf. I like play golf, sort of. Don't like really watching it.
Yeah, I enjoy chess, but I'm too tactical. I can't think that far ahead.
Here's the
Oh,
thing.
wait.
You know what? I know the moves to chess, and I enjoy trying to maneuver something around. But I played my brother-in-law when we were on vacation.
Barry.
No, Blake.
Barry wouldn't be played chess.
I think he does actually.
Barry doesn't play chess.
But anyway, Blake's
Barry's a loser.
Blake's played more than me, and there was one point like I took his queen immediately,
Mm.
Oh no.
and ended up him beating me.
Queenless?
Yeah. And
Freddie Mercury?
I had him. Oh, here's the thing. I had him, and we repeated the same move 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I would go here, check him. He'd put his guy in front of it. I'd move him back. He'd put him in front of it. I'd go back, check him, put him back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He looked it up, and it said in the rules he looked up. Of course, I'm sure there's a variety of rules. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
Nope.
If you do the same move 3 times in a row, you can draw.
Right. Major.
But I didn't want to draw because I had him. I had his queen.
But that's a draw.
And then he ended up beating
Technically-
me because I did a move I wouldn't have normally done because I just wanted the game to proceed.
Right. But you see, that's one of the dangers also in chess is that if you're winning a lot and you're trying to trap their king and you end up getting them to where they cannot make a move without being checked, then technically it's a draw. It's a stalemate. And so it's one of those things where you kind of really, and I like.
Then we stalemated, but we didn't because we did the move like 4 times in a row.
Oh, you stalemated.
I guess it happens without you declaring it. I think he said one of you could declare it.
I think it just happens.
Maybe it just happens. I don't know. Yeah, we don't play enough to really know, but
either way,
I don't like that aspect of chess.
I love
the stalemating.
I like it. Very rarely happens if you're actually doing it correctly. I believe. I think.
I'm sure. Yeah, we're rank amateurs.
But either way, my point being is, I forget my point being about this. I don't know how I got off on chess. There was something very important I was about to say. Something else I have problems with. Here's something else I have a problem with. My airing of a grievance. I don't like stuff. I don't like it when other people like stuff I don't like. And I don't like that.
That's called like opinions.
No.
I like Bloody Marys. You don't.
No, that's not what I mean.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, I'm going to watch baseball. I'm watching, like, baseball's boring.
It is not.
It is too. Literally, if you
not.
Google it, the first thing is baseball boring.
No.
The majority of people say it's boring.
Not if you enjoy the game.
No. But that's
just
not
like
my
watching
point.
chess or golf.
You're not getting my point, though. Majority of people say it's boring.
The majority of people might say chess and golf is boring.
It is boring, but I enjoy it.
Okay.
So, anyways, my point being, I don't like stuff.
But if you enjoy it, it's not boring to you.
No. If this is like general like opinion and it's popular, I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it's the point of view thing.
It's
just subjective. What do you find? It's clearly not boring to you. If it's boring to me, I wouldn't watch it. Therefore, it's not boring to me. You may think it's boring. It's not boring to me. I enjoy it. I can understand why people think it's boring. My wife hates baseball. We go to usually a live game every now and then to try. I do with some friends. She never goes, even though they invite her. Like, we can hang out, and have some drinks and eat food and talk. And she doesn't want no part of it because baseball's boring to her. I enjoy the game. I enjoy the different aspects, the strategy that is kind of there. And there's more to baseball than you might be aware of. And even that I'm not really into. For me, I'm into baseball I like it when I like it. I like baseball.
My point being is you derailed what I was saying. I don't like that. I don't like when people don't like something.
Because I asked for an example.
Then that's baseball.
Okay.
I don't like that.
So if I was to say I like baseball and
I don't like.
I think that's a personal issue you need to deal with.
I've made this statement. I also don't like when people don't listen. I have said I don't like not liking something that other people like.
Okay. It's just
you don't like the fact that you don't like the fact that when you don't like something, they like it.
Yes. I don't like the fact
Okay.
when someone goes, I like to watch baseball. I think baseball's so cool. And I'm like, that's the most boring thing. My first initiative is to go explain it to me why it's interesting. And I don't care, but at the same time, I do care. I want to know what am I missing out on? And I realize that's the root cause of it. That's what gets me.
okay.
Is that when somebody says, I like this thing, and I go, oh, that sounds awful. Why would you like that thing? And I'm hostile towards it. Like,
Yeah. You're making them have to defend something to you, and they don't have to do that.
they don't have to do it. I'm not making them do anything. They just choose to because I've questioned them relentlessly.
But yeah, I know.
I don't like that I do
About
that.
yourself.
I don't like that I do that because I realize the root cause of it is I have a fear of missing out. I want to know, what am I missing? Can you explain it to me so I can enjoy it too? But then people are like, oh, baseball. And I can't watch baseball. I can't watch it. It's just not interesting at all. But people like it and they talk about it. And I'm like, oh, they play it so often. I wish I liked it.
I would venture to say,
And it
I think
upsets me.
baseball is one of those things. We're getting off on baseball, but this is my last thing I'll say about it. I think baseball is more of one of those things of you have to grow up watching it. Like it has to be like something you did as a child or with
cultural.
your family.
But I played baseball with my dad and junk like that.
Did your dad like baseball?
Yes.
Did he watch baseball?
No.
But didn't you say that you were
Okay.
you were forced to play baseball?
Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean, I
that's true
enjoyed
because
the
my
game.
family didn't like
Okay.
baseball either. So, but my friends liked baseball. No, they didn't actually. I watched the Cubs all by myself.
See, you chose to engage in this
I
boring
chose to
sport.
engage in it. The Cubs were on WGN, and I ended up watching.
But the point being is, it stems.
baseball's relaxing to me.
Oh well, so that by definition, boring is something that makes you kind of
That's not
tedious.
No, relaxing doesn't
By
equal boring.
definition, boring makes you
If
weary.
you say by definition one more time, you keep saying by
Well, no,
definition.
okay, well,
Webster's
and all your-
dictionary.
now hold up.
No, I don't want to hear by definition anymore from
Why
you.
not?
I hate that phrase.
Why?
Because you stick to this weird singular definition that definitions evolve.
I'm reading what the current.
I know,
thing
but
is.
definitions evolve. Time evolves.
Well, how come nobody told
There's
Web?
things that the English language has evolved.
I know, but typically they put that in Webster's.
You can't go by the definition. So that's how black and white you are.
So you saying
with your view of life.
So you're saying that words just change constantly, and you just have to know what they mean?
thou, thy, thee, art.
No. But no, you're saying that they're dynamic, and you just have to know. How would I know? Well, if it's in Webster's.
You have to on the words that aren't in there yet. You got to go to Urban Dictionary,
There aren't words in there. An urban dictionary is not words that aren't in there. They're definitions of slang terms.
and they become in the dictionary when Webster's finally catches up
No.
to modern society's
No.
lingo.
They just
Words that are in the vernacular, like yeet. It wasn't in there.
yeet.
Yeet.
I don't like the adding
Skirt.
of skirt. Anyways, my point being is I don't like it because it comes from this fear of missing out. But the reverse of it's not true. When I like something and someone says, I don't like that, I don't feel the least bit anything. Like,
Well,
like
no,
if someone says, I don't
because
know.
they don't press you.
Well, no, they do. I've had people like board games. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, here's why. And I'll tell you why, or chess. I'll tell you why. I don't mind explaining it at all. And if they're like, I still don't know, I was like, I have no emotional, I think that's the thing. I have no emotional response to explaining what something that I like to somebody who thinks it's boring. Matter of fact, I want to try to tell you about it so that you will find it interesting. But if you don't, I'm not in any way, I'm not irritated by that. And I assume that must be everybody's response, but it's not. Because I have a fear of missing out, and I want to know why you like this thing so much.
Well, that's interesting.
It's not interesting. I'm just saying it's something I don't
I
like.
said it's interesting. I can say it's interesting.
You could be interested in it, but I don't like it.
Well,
This is not
interesting
this is
to
not
me.
the cliche things Gobby finds interesting episode.
Why is everything I like cliche? That's another thing I don't like. I don't like. Like everything I say, oh, that's vanilla, that's cliche. You think you're so freaking unique and interesting.
Now you're
No,
turning-
you're not.
Now you're turning this
You're
episode
not.
to yourself. That's
No,
another thing I
no,
don't like.
it's all about you. You think you're so different and unique, and oh my God, Jerry's the most interesting man in the world.
I just said I wasn't.
No, you.
Enrique,
Enrique, it's
What?
great. We hadn't fought like this in several
Yeah, it's
months.
been a
That's
while.
and you
interesting.
come back on this
It's
show
interesting. It's very interesting.
and you stir things up.
And look at it. He's been mouthing this whole time.
I was just looking up the difference
He's
between
been whispering
boring
in
and
my ear
relaxing
this whole
because
time.
that really caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's okay. Be caught off guard. It
It's good
doesn't
to be
matter.
caught off guard.
It doesn't
Keeps you on
matter.
your toes.
Keeps you. Yes, you
Like
should
a short
be.
man at a urine.
And I think boring and relaxing have different meanings.
Well, boring is just. I don't know. Yeah, boring is just uninteresting. It's weary.
yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you're relaxed by something that's boring. You can
No.
fall asleep, but you don't necessarily have to be relaxed to fall asleep, do you? Can you?
Did
fall
you know
No, you can be relaxed and fall asleep.
But you can also be tense and fall asleep.
in Japan,
I fall asleep intense all the time. I camp a lot.
doctors prescribe forest therapy
Maybe you're just
Yeah.
passing out.
Intense.
to treat depression? Maybe you should try that.
What, forest therapy?
Forest therapy.
I know about that forest in Japan.
The scent of the trees increases the natural killer cells activity that enhances your immune
Killer
system, which
cells.
boosts resistance against stress.
All my cells are killer.
So they're telling you to go walk, take a walk. They're telling you to take a hike.
I hike constantly.
Take a hike in the trees.
I'm running up
it's
that
not-
hill.
It's not working for you.
Any other things you got on your little banter mobile?
Why,
still
see,
on the
even the
banter?
way you phrase that is demeaning.
The banter mobile?
Your little banter mobile.
That's
I think he
Right.
just.
Why do you got to
I-
say little?
It's because it's in comparison to your meaty hands. It's
See, there again, another comment.
is meaty hands.
you do
It's
have
not
some-
flattering.
Well,
Do you think I want to have
Can
meaty
I,
hands?
do you like meat? The answer to that is obviously yes.
In Norway, people use the word Texas as slang for crazy.
Oh.
It doesn't refer to a person, but rather a chaotic atmosphere. So saying a party was totally crazy would be Det var helt Texas,
Dekvarhout, Texas?
meaning it was totally Texas.
That was totally Texas.
I wonder
why they think Texas is such a...
This one is interesting.
I'm ready for it. I'll judge that.
This one's interesting.
I like that Texas one, dude.
Memories are so easily manipulated
Mm-hmm.
that in 3 hours, you can be convinced you committed a crime that never happened.
Correct.
Researchers did a study to understand more about why people have gone to jail for false confessions, and they were able to convince 70% of participants that they were not guilty. No, that they were guilty of a fake crime. The college-age participants not only confessed, but they also described very detailed experiences that never actually happened.
You know this. You can listen back to previous episodes. It takes me about 35 minutes to convince you of something.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it does. Listen to our previous
I
podcast.
don't think so. You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I should.
Anyways,
Did you know diarrhea was the leading cause of death in the American Civil War?
dysentery
because of all the.
I
fecal
didn't
matter?
say anything about Terry. I'm
Nah.
talking about diarrhea.
died of dysentery. Back up, Terry.
You know what that is, Enrique?
What?
Organ trail.
Dysentery.
No, I don't.
Diarrhea.
It's diarrhea.
Oh, okay.
You know what diarrhea is?
Of course.
Do you remember the old commercials when you're feeling something heavy? The kids on all the schools. That was stupid. That's another thing I didn't like.
What?
I don't like talking about diarrhea.
Why?
Even though it has
It's-
killed many
I
people.
mean, it's killed a bunch of people.
It
It was the
happened
leading
to-
cause of death in the
It's-
Civil War.
It caused Barry to leave the vacation early.
I don't know that it was dysentery.
It was probably Barry. Dysentery. That's what happened when Barry leaves. Dysentery. Let's get out of here.
But there was other factors involved as well.
R.I.P. Barry.
He's
Rest
not dead.
in porcelain.
Do you know an e-groter is someone who fakes sickness in order to avoid work?
I thought that was that tree in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's Groot.
Yeah, it's
Groot.
Groot. I don't know how you got that.
I'm
out
sorry.
of it.
And they have a picture of Ferris Bueller in this particular
He
place.
wasn't missing work. He was missing school.
I know. So I don't know why they put him in there.
He's,
School can be work, though. You have homework.
he's not but that's not at the school. Do you have schoolwork? Obviously you do.
Schoolwork.
So I guess technically, if you want to call it work, I don't like that term. Add that to my list. I don't like the term schoolwork.
Why?
Did you know? This would be my last one. The green falling code in the Matrix is just loads of.
Yes, I know this. I've read this fun fact somewhere. It's not spaghetti. It's something.
It's food. Food related.
Give me, it's almost there. I remember it. Darn you, Wachowskis. I can't remember. What is it? What food item?
If you were going to litigate against a female, you would sue
Her?
she.
Oh, sushi?
Kind of had to change it up a little bit.
Oh, sushi.
It's
Okay.
loads of sushi
Oh.
recipes.
That was not a
Oh.
good clue.
Well, I was a roundabout way of putting
Sushi?
two things together.
You could have said it was very raw. It's something fishy. But she went from the round of litigating a woman. What would you do? Sushi? That's really okay. I'm just okay.
I
That's
thought you
okay.
were going to say soup.
That's another
Zucker.
thing I don't like.
Oh,
is people
wait.
give poor clues.
This is another stupid one. A Thai woman accidentally slipped on farmyard mud, grabbed a naked live wire, and got electrocuted to death. After the funeral, her sister was showing her neighbors how the accident happened when she herself slipped, grabbed the same live wire, and also got electrocuted to death.
That can't be true.
Enrique laughs.
That
He
can't be
laughs in the
true.
face of
What
someone
state,
else's
what
death.
state was that?
Alabama.
It says a Thai
What?
woman.
Huh?
It says Thai. Enrique just comes on here spouting.
I do. I have to
Enrique,
make
where
it-
have you been?
I've been just doing things, man. It's just, I've been to Disneyland.
Okay, that takes like 3 days. Where have you been for 6 months?
Oh, for 6 months? Just chilling, getting money. And kind of.
What are you getting money
for
for?
those 6 months, I
For
guess.
your license you're going to get someday?
Probably.
I doubt
But
it.
I
You're never going to get your license.
Within those 6 months, I started working out a little bit.
It shows. You're looking good.
I think I could do a little bit
Pull
better.
your shirt up and flex.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No.
Okay.
we're not.
Flex, but flex. Okay, I can see a little bit of movement there.
Yeah, but
It's more than I got. I
I
was working out briefly as well, but I don't like to flex.
Why do you not like flexing?
I don't know, because it's showing off.
But it feels good, though.
Feels good working out.
It feels flexing, too.
I don't like flexing. Ugh, it's too hard.
What do you mean it's too hard?
I don't like flexing. Ugh. All right, so that's the last bit of fun facts I'm going to put out
that
there.
Fun fact was also considered to be an urban legend, I believe.
Are you telling me my facts weird Instagram follow is leading me down incorrect paths? I don't think so.
Possibly saying yes. Yeah.
All right, Jerry, continue on. Don't get distracted. Don't start saying, let's see.
No, apparently, let's see here. It was in the Los Angeles Times back in April 30th of 1991. I'm just putting that
it was true or false.
That it was true.
Oh.
Yuket Pan, 52. So, yep. All right.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
You kept
Rest in peace, Pan. Either way.
a Thai woman.
Yes.
From Thailand.
I like to make sure that the facts are there. I don't like these stories being spread about when someone says...
I trust facts weird 100%.
I don't like that they could have linked the story to a news article.
No, they never do that.
Why don't you do that? Do it.
Maybe they have it in a source somewhere. But...
I want your sources. Now, we're going to talk about a board game.
Obviously.
I want to talk about a board game. We're going to talk about what?
What?
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Were you going to talk about something else?
No, we're good. We need to talk about a board game because we are the board game snobs.
So I Made You a Mixtape is on Kickstarter, probably ending soon.
Right?
It may have already ended.
No, I had like 17. Oh, by this time? Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I suspect
it's over.
I will. This is like not even its first week on Kickstarter. I am going to estimate that it will reach. Do you think it'll reach 100,000?
Maybe.
It's at 35.
I'm
right
shooting
now.
for. I think 60 would be good.
I would say 50 at least.
You think 50 without going over? 50? Is your guess?
Yeah.
You?
I'm going to go with 50.
I'm going 63.
Typically, they double from the first 48. So
Okay.
with that, plus the rabid amount of just attention,
First 48? Well, it's already there.
it doubles after at the end. The first 48 and the last 48.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say 65.
Okay.
You say 63, I say
63.
65.
I say 50.
I see you're $1 Bob me.
I did 2.
Okay.
Did 2. I didn't go.
So what are we saying about this game?
We're saying
No,
it-
listen. I'm going to. Now, I know because I'll explain. We have this game in front of us called Mixtape
Mhm.
by Rob somebody.
Newton's. No, it's Rob Newton's mixtape. His name would be Rob Newton. The apostrophe S is possessive.
Okay.
Rob Newton
So
is the designer.
If he has a son, it should be
No related to Fig
named Fig.
or Isaac.
It's fruit and cake.
Okay.
Mr. Newton sent us this. He also sent it to the board game Louisiana guy, Gumbo dude.
No, he's just dealing it out to whoever.
BJ sent it to me.
I guess we're not feeling us back. Oh, we didn't even get it direct from Rob.
No.
No,
I
Rob
see.
sent it to BJ and BJ sent it to me. We've
So
talked.
Rob doesn't know you. Rob Newton did not say, Jerry, here's my game. Check it out. He sent it to BJ Gumbo.
No, I think we both said we wanted to see
Board
it,
Game Gumbo.
and he sent it to Board Game Gumbo, and then Board Game Gumbo did a review on it, and Board Game Gumbo.
And he sent it to Board Game Gumbo, said, here, send this one care of Board Game Gumbo to Jerry Baker.
and
of
he
the Board Game
did,
Snobs.
and he gave it to me. And then I've not sent it onward to anybody else. It's too late now. Point being is that this is about a mixtape. Dan Hughes, massive asterisk,
And Mike DeLizio.
Mike DeLisio. That's what the master asterisk is about. Made a game called So I Made You a Mixtape, which I've also played.
No. There's no so at the beginning.
I like the so. I like the so.
So I made you a mixtape.
That sounds better. That's going to be our game we're going to make. So
Well, to me, that is how that phrase would be more natural in
if
conversation.
I came up, I'd say, I made you a mixtape.
Like your girlfriend or boyfriend would come to you.
You're a significant other.
You don't just say from out of nowhere, I made you a mixtape.
See, what sounds different? So out of the 3 choices,
Because usually you're talking about something
If I
and
come-
you would be like,
if I-
so
if I came up to you and handed you a cassette and said, mixtape, makes no difference.
Okay.
If I came up to you and said, I made you a mixtape, okay, that's better. But if I came up to you and said, so
no. So
I
here's the
made you a
conversation.
mixtape.
Here's the conversation. I'm telling you the types of music I enjoy and different artists and genres.
So I made you a mixtape.
I remember that. I go home, I push record while the radio's playing. I come back to you with all these songs from this type of music you like. And you say, I remember you telling me you like ska. So I made you a mixtape. And it's full of the mighty boss baritones or whatever
that
name
is
that
a
band was.
long name for a game. So I know we were talking the other day, so I made you. Anyway,
but that was the preface to the phrase. So I made you a mixtape.
So now these are the similar activities.
Yeah.
Themes are completely different.
How can they be completely
I will
different?
let you know, because on Rob Newton's mixtape, you're making a mixtape for your lover.
Yeah.
Or significant other.
Mr. Lover.
You have a card and it has various seemingly gender neutral names.
Fantastic.
There's several gender neutral names. Although, like Alex, that's gender neutral.
Now that you said that, I think they could all be gender neutral.
I knew a Hispanic named Angel.
Right. Angel for a man, Angel for
that's cool.
Because when we first got it out, we're like, oh, they made this like just for guys, just for girls.
What?
But
Didn't you have a cousin named Angel?
No, I didn't have no cousin named Angel.
The dude with the
Angelo.
Oh, okay. Never mind. But either way, point being, so you're in Mixtape by Rob Newton. You're making a mixtape for somebody that you're. Whereas with Dan and Mike's, it's kind of more not stalk. I won't say it's not like it's. You're just making a mixtape for somebody. It's not.
I haven't played it, so
it's
I don't
not
know.
a specific. I'm making a mixtape for.
There's not a reason you're making a mixtape.
You're making a mixtape for somebody. You're trying to make the best mixtape for people, but not necessarily somebody for which you are romantically involved.
It'd be like you making me a mixtape. Say, Gubby, I know you love ska.
I would do ska.
What is ska? I thought
The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. That's who it was.
Okay. Well, listen. Either way,
And I think a little bit of Gwen Stefani's band back in the day. What was the name of her band?
Pink.
I think Gwen Stefani's band. What was the name of her
I
band?
don't know any of that.
You don't know Gwen Stefani?
I know Gwen Stefani, but I don't want to know.
Don't speak.
Oh God!
No,
Yes,
no.
it's awful.
But some of that music was ska, I believe. I'm
That is-
probably wrong.
Anyway, so
Ska's good.
moving on. The point being,
It's also Mufasa's brother, Ska. If you're British.
if he was from Boston, ska. You betrayed me, ska.
good job.
I gave my car to Ska, and he parked it in Harvey Yard.
No. Everything the light touches.
Yo, Mufasa. I wish I could really do a Boston
I
accent.
can't.
I can't really.
No, it's Southern. You can't do Boston.
Can't do
It's
it. It'd be
hard.
like Kevin Costner trying to do it in 13 days.
He tried.
Absolutely
He
atrocious.
spent about 13 days practicing that because that was not great. Margaret.
Anyway, continue with Ska.
So these two games are very similar. I have played both. You have now played the Mixtape by Rob Newton. Okay, here's what I find interesting. The reason I'm bringing this up. The games have very similar themes, even some similar artwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 80s.
Whereas Dan's and Mike's is like a drafting thing. I split, you choose mechanism, which I like. And you're laying the cards down. You're both managing a little like mixer board thing, or actually, they're Dan and Mike's. Theirs is more of a
bass.
like a double cassette player.
Push the treble.
I find it interesting that you can have two different takes on the same theme, essentially, and use completely different mechanisms. So, for instance, in this Rob Newton's Mixtape one, on this one, you're not drafting. You're just drawing cards from a pile, saying, okay, I can draw two cards. And then you're using those cards, which are cassettes, to pay for the other cards and play one down on the A side or B side of your little mixer, and moving up the little sound
Beside the mixer.
beside the mixer. And you're trying to set collection and have these various things and have, some of them flow into the different
You're
notes.
laying cards down that have these certain symbols, and they have to flow in a certain way, and you're trying to match up these symbols to make something match what your personal play card has.
Right.
It was a stupid game.
What? Wow. You didn't like it?
I hated it.
You didn't like Mixtape by Rob Newton's Mixtape?
No, it's awful.
It was pretty bad. Like we sat there.
It's so hard.
Jerry, you didn't even like the game.
I like that Jerry does this devil's advocate thing.
You didn't even like. You got frustrated because of one thing that we couldn't figure
I
out.
got frustrated because the rule book was not clear on a symbol on the card of the woman you're making. I say a woman, the non-gender person that you're making the mixtape for, and it was not mentioned in anything on the internet.
You got really frustrated.
I got very frustrated. That's something I don't like. When there's a symbol and I can't find
this little symbol on the card, your personal play card says there's this many themes for these moods. This game's about themes and moods, and for one, that part of the theming aspect of this game, I don't care. I mean, I play Love Letter. It has the same, you're writing love letters to somebody. You're making a love letter in a mixtape to somebody. Okay, I could get behind that. But the mechanisms in which this game brings that to life sucked.
You're coming out very hard on poor Rob. My point being is that's another thing, is that when you're using terms to describe items in your game that don't make, you have to be very clear and very careful about that. So, like, I'm looking up going, what's mood? What do you mean mood? Oh, okay, each card, those are the moods. Like the blue, the red, the green. Okay, those are the moods. Okay, the themes.
Moods are for love play and candles.
Thank you. That's a great Dune reference. My favorite, which we were talking about Dune on the way over here. Enrique, in all of his boldness, did not watch the first new Dune movie. He watched
Dune movie.
No, he didn't watch Dune. But
I did not watch a new Dune movie.
But guess what? He didn't watch the first new Dune movie.
He went straight he cut to the chase.
Will you let me finish the story? He watched the second Dune new movie and had no context for what was going on.
But I understood, there was a couple things they kind of went back on, and I was like...
So on the way over here, I'm like, so wait, you didn't know what Dune was? Is no. You didn't watch part 1? No. But you went and watched part 2?
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yes, it was still good.
He goes, I don't know what's going on. Why were they in the desert? Why was the worm? He's just watching it. He said, this is amazing. I was like,
that's an interesting aspect to a person I can appreciate.
Why are these guys so
You just enjoy a movie as it is.
There's all these albinos out there. He kept going on about it. Anyways, who would go watch a part 2?
I do have a couple of movies I want to discuss briefly, but continue.
Okay.
Without watching part 1.
Well, it was just I was going with friends, and they wanted.
And part 1 is the better movie, in my opinion.
Part 2 is the greater movie. So to solidify this,
go ahead.
He's going to watch part 1, and he's going to let us know. Was part 1 or part 2?
But I think coming in that order, I think you would choose the second part.
No,
because it's like action packed.
Objectively.
I'm a very objective person.
I think okay, that's true.
Objectively, it doesn't
matter.
You'd
have to be to come in on part 2 and say this is a good movie.
Because I'll at least see some differences.
I would have lost my mind.
You can do that with James Bond.
I'd have lost my mind.
You can't do it with Dune.
Well, James Bond's not normal.
I know, but
No, you don't.
They're not. You're right. They're individual movies.
That was a poor example.
Right. That'd be like coming in on watching Empire Strikes Back.
You don't really need it.
Okay. That'd be coming in like watching Return of the Jedi.
You don't really need it.
Okay. That'd be coming in and watching Lord of the Rings, The Twin Towers.
Never watched that.
The Twin Towers?
The Two Towers?
I'm pretty sure it's 2 towers, wasn't it?
I think it's the Two Towers.
Okay.
But they're twins if you think about it.
All right. Well, listen, you've been this theme of twins and stuff here lately.
And those twins. You remember that commercial? Speaking of
listen,
80s.
I'm trying to stay on topic here.
You're the one that went off on him watching Dune. Nude.
You were close.
Why were you naked in the first place? There's only one way I like watching Dune. That's naked. Sand, it gets everywhere.
I'm coming in this.
He just rolls around in a box of sand and watches Dune.
I'm coming into the theater the same way I went out.
There's also never mind.
There's no worm jokes. Listen, now for the mixtape, back to the Dan Hughes' Kickstarter.
They are almost professional level comedians.
The mechanisms that he uses in that game, similar theme, similar everything. But what I guess my point being is that, well, number one, I find it interesting how people can take very similar theme, come up with 2 completely different games. I know you didn't like the Mixtape game, the Rob Newton's one. I'll be interested in seeing, which is why I tied this in with Dune, because you've played the Mixtape. Now you need to play So I Made You a Mixtape. And I think you will be interested in seeing how just little bitty small tweaks to a game can take something that you may not really like and it be something that you really thoroughly enjoy, because I really, really liked So I Made You a Mixtape.
It's I made you a mixtape. There's no so.
I'm just saying, I Made You a Mixtape. I really like it.
It's a better title.
Okay, you're saying small tweaks. Would you not say that these are two completely entirely different games?
I mean,
Other than you're laying cards down on a table.
well, there's
With
draft.
cassette tapes.
Okay,
on
so
them.
there's in Dan's, there's drafting. There's not drafting in this one. There's a flow thing in this one, but the flow thing in Dan's is more puzzly and interesting. And there is set collection in this one, but there's also set collection. So yes, they are entirely different games in a lot of ways.
Okay, I mean, again, no, I didn't like this game at all. I usually would take this apology tour of okay, I have never designed a game. I'm sure it's difficult.
Nobody
blah,
cares
blah,
about
blah. I didn't like this game. We didn't finish it. We played like 4 or 5 rounds, and we're like, we don't like this game. Why are we wasting
it? I finished it previously.
Okay, well, this time you did not.
Because you were having such a hard time.
Okay, here's the thing I find interesting with Jerry. He does this to me several games.
Several games.
We will together say, this game is terrible. We don't like it. We don't like it because
wow,
the rules are bad. The rule book was bad on that one part.
Okay, that one part was bad.
It really doesn't make just this. We're laying down cards. I feel nothing playing this game.
Wow.
It's not triggering any emotion in me of, oh, this is cool. There's nothing cool about it. I just didn't like this game. And Jerry was echoing similar sentiments. But when we start recording, he's taking the nice guy road.
No,
to make me and you look bad, Enrique.
First off, I'm fascinated by the fact that you think that this makes you look bad. How does this make you look bad?
Just because maybe this guy, Rob Newton's a friend of Board Game Gumbo.
No.
He's going to make a reference for you.
Make a reference?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't
You're
really
just
know.
Rambling.
I'm just talking now.
I know you're just talking.
You put me in the corner.
I'm just.
Nobody puts Gabby in the corner.
I'm just letting you express yourself.
Now catch me.
I'm just letting you express yourself.
But I'm right, Enrique.
Yeah.
You heard him spouting his hatred towards this game during the game, and now he's acting like he's shocked at our opinions.
I'm not acting shocked.
You've been had this shocked look on your face.
I have not been shocked.
You have.
Listen, here's the thing. I think that you feel like I should buttress your opinions and make you feel validated.
Well, no, it just no. I do not need you to validate my opinions.
Okay.
It just throws me for a loop when you're saying one thing during gameplay and another when the mics are on.
What have I said?
Exactly. Nothing.
I haven't got to my point. I'm just explaining.
Well, stop with the shocked looks when we act like we don't like it.
I'm not. I'm just
the fake shocked look.
I'm not.
You do.
What?
I found it rather charming.
No, it was not a great game by any means. I did not particularly enjoy Mixtape. And I'm trying to discern exactly why. I think there's a lot of issues with the components that I had, like the board. I didn't like the markings on it. I couldn't tell moving up. It looked very dull. There were issues with that small portion of the rule book. And also just the game wasn't as clean and as laid out.
There's a lot of iconography in only one rule book. If it's going to have that much, you need a player aid.
Well,
that, it wasn't a whole lot to really.
Another thing is that the what do you call it? Why am I blanking on this all of a sudden?
Sequence?
No, that made sense. I guess a player aid would be nice, but I think it's the main decision in the game. Well, okay, here's one thing that I don't like. I don't like when games have a take that element on your card that requires you to remember something. And in Mixtape, there's this thing where it says, all right, now anytime other people at the table do this action, you get to do this thing. I hate having to now pay attention to that concept.
It's very Machi Koro.
I don't like that. Machi Koro, everybody knows when we're rolling a dice, everybody do your thing. It's just somebody rolling dice. Machi Koro, even though
But it had that fact of,
well, I'm just thinking,
if your neighbor does this, then you gain from it. Or
no,
something.
you're thinking of Wingspan.
No, Machi Koro had the same thing.
Machi Koro was just
it had those red cards.
I'm thinking of a game that's not a decade old. But Wingspan has this thing of follow this thing.
Claws,
and I feel like that type of ability for
Wingspans
for this type of game is kind of
what?
Mochikoro's not much older than Wingspan.
Are you serious?
Are we?
No, don't.
In the decades of games.
In the no, we're saying
Mochikoro's 2015,
which is
Wingspan is 2019.
First off, to be that way of thinking. Number one, you know that 1 year to a board game is like 7 years. Okay, Mochikoro's.
Well, you said it in a very like. Oh, I'm talking about a game in the last 5 years, not a game in the last 7 years.
Okay, well, let me just I was saying it just like that because, as one would know,
I referenced Mochikoro because we had a whole discussion on it.
Wingspan's 2019.
Yeah.
Just like I said.
And Mochikoro, 2012. So, more than
7
a decade
years.
old.
7 years.
This is 2024. It's 12 years.
7 years difference between the games.
No, it's 12 years. I see. And Wingspan just got expansions and all this other stuff going on too, and another remake. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I don't like it when people start acting like they're right and then back down and then try to shame me.
No, I did not back down.
Yes, you backed down.
No,
well,
I
you don't
never
have
backed
to, You
down.
don't have to back down because you were wrong. It's okay. And you don't
I'm
have
like
to admit it.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, never retreat, never surrender, except he lost in that movie.
Did he?
He did.
He made a great.
That's where he did the splits, like the first time I saw it.
His best movie was the one where he was in the French Foreign Legion. Have you watched that? You've not watched it.
I think you think no, I like Time Cop.
No, watch the one where he's in the French Foreign Legion. It's the only real movie he's been in. It was like
with like some real acting.
It was like they're not. He just happens to be in the French Foreign Legion.
Better than the one with him and Dennis Rodman.
Yes, all those are just. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme kicking people. This is
better than Street Fighter.
Yes, this is French Foreign Legion. It's an actual show.
You know a movie I've never seen.
All right, tell me.
Universal Soldier. And that's like back in the 80s.
Who's
I remember that? That was Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme doing their thing.
What's the one that's my man?
And they're like cyborgs.
That's the soldier. That's the not the cyborg. Who's the dude? With not Russell Crowe. Who's the other guy I'm thinking of? Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell and Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No, not Jean-Claude.
Are you talking about Universal, the Soldier movie? The Soldier.
Soldier. It's just Soldier.
Yeah.
98. Universal Soldier.
So Mixtape, we didn't like it. But I made you a mixtape Jerry's a big fan of.
92.
It's probably done on Kickstarter now. I look very much forward to it. It's a long. This is Armageddon and what's the Impact? Deep Impact. But which one's going to be the winner?
I don't think that's a good comparison.
We've done it before in a similar scenario.
I know, but not this because this.
All right. So what I'm saying is,
I don't think this is a good.
Well, all right. So what I'm saying is,
your analogies. That's another thing I don't like. Are analogies that you don't make, and then you just try to gloss over, like because the thoughts come into comparable.
I watched Trap, M. Night Shyamalan's most recent movie, starring
Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett.
Ew.
I like Josh Hartnett.
Ew. Yeah, he's a good actor. I'm just saying, M. Night Shyamalan.
He was a weird actor in this one.
M. Night Shyamalan.
And of course, this is another one of those movies, M. Night Shyamalan, even, that give away the twist.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't like it.
But and then I kind of expected like a double reverse twist.
I'm
like
not going to watch it.
He's a Dexter type serial killer. Spoilers alert. Spoilers alert.
It's in the trailer.
Exactly. But I kept thinking maybe, spoiler alert, it's a terrible movie. It's a terrible movie.
Wow. Well, you're coming out against a lot of things.
It's somewhat entertaining, like in the first 2/3 of it when they're in the arena and he's like trying to find his way out.
You're the one, Aaron. Grievances.
Call me Aaron. Aaron Grievances.
That's a good. I didn't laugh, but I thought I didn't want to laugh and break your stride. Go on, Mr. Grievance.
All right. So, first 2/3 of it is watchable.
General Grievance.
The airing of General Grievances. So,
General Kenobi.
But then he gets. Hello there.
Yes,
Enrique. Enrique.
I know. I missed it. I'm sorry. I really wanted to say it too.
Set yourself up. I set you up.
I was trying not to laugh as loud.
I like that he had breathing problems.
The robot with asthma.
He was a cyborg, and they gave him COPD.
Yeah, actually, there was a reason for that in the animated series.
What? Why was it in the
because
cartoon?
Mace Windu crushed his chessie.
His chest plate?
Yeah, like he crushed it, like force.
So he was a cyborg, right? He was not just robot.
Yeah, like he basically got all dismantled, replacing flesh with.
Why didn't he have a CPAP?
Okay.
Oh, because of the chest. His lungs got
That
crushed.
makes sense.
But anyway, real quick, Trap, terrible movie.
Okay, thanks.
Terrible movie. And Josh Hartnett acts weird in it. Like, it's kind of like he starts off okay, then he kind of, you know how they're like, they chewed the scenery? I think he like did way too much. He did way too much.
It'd be nice if you had like a podcast where you could talk about.
I know. I missed that. And that's why I'm talking about it now.
Okay, we need to stop because I have a movie that I'm going to go on for another hour about.
Okay.
So we'll catch up again next time. This was my Eric Grievances. Turn into the next episode where I will talk about something I really, really like.
All right. Until next time.
That voice is not one of them.
I'm Gabi.
This is Jerry.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.